watching WCTV, Channel 48, Chesapeake.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Braves Field at Indian River High School for the showdown of the week in Tidewater as the Oscar Smith Tigers make the trip down. It's going to be a great one. Two outstanding teams tonight. We talk about two of the top 10 teams in Tidewater as the Smith Tigers coming in at 6-1, ranked 3rd in Tidewater. Indian River 6-1, ranked 4th in Tidewater, and they can get up and down the field. Both teams averaging over 300 yards offense a game and over 30 points. Mickey Irving and Merlin Vaughn on your game of the week on WCTV Channel 48 and WFOS 88.7. The Oscar Smith Tigers make the short drive down to Indian River. Merlin, this is a special Oscar Smith team.
Hey, it certainly is, and what a great treat for Trick or Treat tonight. You're going to get a treat tonight watching two of the most explosive offenses in Southampton Roads. You have Indian River at Division 5 doing quite well and looking to make it to the playoffs after an absence of several years. And then you have Oscar Smith, who's a surprise team, a strong team last year, but this year they're carrying on the message that they sent last year, that they are a team to be reckoned with.
Well, you know, the thing is with us is we've been a down program for so long, and all this stuff is brand new to us, and we know that at any point in time, if we decide to take a play off or take a game off, we could slip and fall, and we don't want that to happen. We don't ever want to go back to where we were. So the kids stay focused because they know what's at stake every game they go out there. In this district, every game is a playoff game. You can't afford to step back even one time. So we keep our focus that way. The kids are really good about it.
You know, this another big game, another playoff type game, and then you want to get yourselves ready for the playoffs, and it's important that you do well tonight. How do you plan to attack the Braves?
Same way we have all year. We'll mix up the run and the pass. I mean, we got a great quarterback. We got a great running back. We're going to attack them that way. Defensively, we're going to make sure someone's on Brandon Orr the whole night, and we'll put pressure on the quarterback. And I think that's going to be, the name of the game right there. If we can pressure him and be successful, we'll be successful. If we can't, then he'll have an advantage to get outside, and we don't want that. So their game plan is going to be probably the same as ours. Get the ball into those, star athletes and make them do some magic. And I think whoever contains the other team the most will probably come out on top.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, Oscar Smith's looked real good the last couple of weeks, man. They've been scoring at a 50-point pace, and they're really tough. But, Indian River is a team that's back. It has a storied history. When we got here in the 90s, they were a team to be reckoned with, a powerhouse in the Southeastern District. Slipped a little bit, won the state championship in '95, but the program did not sustain itself. Right now, they're under great leadership, and they're getting that leadership from Coach Cadillac Harris.
Me and the staff have just worked real hard and followed the design that we set out for our team last year. And this year, things are falling into place. The guys are beginning to understand their roles and functions, and we're able to be explosive on offense and really dominate people on defense. And I'm looking for more of the same type of performance tonight.
Now the fun is back, so every week it's an important week. You can't take a week off, and so another big game tonight. How is the team's focus?
Well, I think our team is prepared for tonight. That's the big thing. That's what you want to do with your football team. You want to do the same thing that excellent businesses do. To be prepared and be focused and be able to make plays and service the position that you hold. And our guys, I think, are really focused on that, although we've had a couple distractions, but sometimes that makes the stew even better.
Usually in a big game like this, you have a lot of talking. There hasn't been a lot of talking. These guys know that it's going to be one on the field. It's not going to be one in the newspapers or in the media, and these guys are ready to play tonight, Mickey. I'm expecting a great game.
Two outstanding programs, two of the surprises in all of Tidewater here tonight, both in the top 5. Indian River won the toss, and they deferred. They will be going from the left to the right in the all navy blue, kicking away to the Smith Tigers in the traveling white with the blue trim. They field it about the 20, make that the 15-yard line. cut it right up the middle of the field, right behind the wall, close to midfield, stopped at the 45-yard line. The Tigers are going to start 1st and 10 with that powerful, powerful offense behind Matthew Scott and Greg Boone.
And you know, you got to have good field position, and the Tigers got that from the fullback, Brian Morris, a small, diminutive type of fullback, but a guy that's quick, and he's able to bust right up that seam and gave the Tigers great field position at the 45-yard line, a return of about 30 yards.
We'll take a look at that Indian River defense in just a minute. We mentioned 2 of the big guns, Matthew Scott and Greg Boone. Greg Boone, if he'll throw it, he likes to go to Dexter Manley, but he has plenty of weapons to go to as the Tigers start 1st and 10 here in the big game tonight. Boone is going to throw it across the middle, complete down to the 40-yard line, close to the 35 on the reception, Paul Roseborough.
And it makes it so hard to defend the Tigers because you want to focus on one guy or you want to focus on 2 guys. And here, you know, you think he's going to go to Manley, and he doesn't go to Manley. Instead, he goes to his tight end, dragging across, and that's a guy that's going to be open tonight if you try to focus on either Scott or either Manley.
1st and 10 for the Smith Tigers at the 35-yard line. We saw them a couple of weeks ago against the #1 ranked Western Branch Bruins, and they came out throwing, and they did it again tonight. Now they're going to hand it off and give it to Scott, going along that far side, stretched out by that Indian River defense. Give credit to Joseph Peck on the stop for the Indian River Braves.
Now Indian River saying, now that's more like it, man. You're running Scott. That's the guy that we've been keying on. We're going to key on him tonight. We're not going to let him have a big game, but you got to watch out for those other playmakers.
Going to be 2nd down, a loss of about 1 for Matthew Scott, a guy who they like to get the ball in his hands. Over 800 yards rushing, close to 900 on the season thus far for the Smith Tigers tailback. And this time Greg Boone's going to line up in the shotgun on 2nd down and long. Early going here in the 1st quarter. Good snap. Boone steps up in the pocket, a pump fake, throws a perfect spiral downfield, intended for Roseborough. Had to turn over the opposite shoulder as Boone threw it to the outside, and it looked like Roseborough was looking to the inside, Merlin, had to turn around.
And you got to question that, well, it's not the question of play design, but you had 2 guys running in the same vicinity, so you got to think that somebody blew a route, and you shouldn't have 2 guys running about 5 yards away from each other. So that's going to be one that they're going to look at and maybe come back to later in the ball game.
Now 3rd down and 11 from the 30, we'll call it the 37-yard line. Good crowd trickling in here due to the traffic problems here tonight in Indian River. As Boone steps up, pressure from Indian River, going to have to run it, but a good, quick defensive effort from the Braves. Adam Blunt on the stop as he put pressure back there on Boone. He stepped up, and he still made the tackle, Merle.
Hey, that's right. You don't want to let Boone get in, and so you got to make sure you keep containment, and that's what the linebackers did, and the line did for Indian River. They kept containment, but now they know they have Oscar Smith is in a 4-down territory, and they're going to go for it on 4th down. Ball
just shy of the 36-yard line. 4th down, about 10.5 yards out of the shotgun now for Coach Richard Morgan and the Smith Tigers. High snap, Boone fields it easily. Pressure maybe setting up the screen. Throw it underneath and almost picked off. Indian River not fooled at all. Stepping up was Colin Newby. He saw the screen pass the whole way, and Indian River is going to take over. Big defensive stand for the Braves.
Mickey, all I can say is scouting reports, studying film. Good film study. Look at the coming right across. Knew that Manley was going to get that flanker screen. Able to come across and kept his position, knocked down the pass, and now they take over in great field position.
Going to be 1st and 10 Indian River, and we'll see our first look of the night. This Indian River offense. In at quarterback is, I believe, DeAndre Fowler, number 11. Motion to the near side, all kinds of movement.
Yeah, it looks like that right guard moved a little bit, and he was busted by the defensive end. But the referee's going to talk to him and say, hey, look, you got to lighten up a little bit.
The first flag of the night.
Illegal procedure against the Braves.
And that's going to be the first penalty of the ball game. And Mickey, when we talk about the keys to the ball game, you're going to make sure that you don't make these mental mistakes, and you also have to hold on to the ball. And the team that does the better job is going to come out on top.
Got to watch is the tailback. He'll be back around the 22-yard line. He's going to get the ball, and that is the very quick of foot Brandon Orr. But against this Smith defense, they may have watched a little film as well, Merlin. Maybe a loss of 2 on the carry for Brandon Orr.
And that's right, with Fowler playing quarterback, you don't have that threat of having Parker drop back, so they can focus a little more on Brandon Orr. And, you know, on that first snap, you got a different cadence from the quarterback. You don't have Parker, you have Fowler, and so that could have thrown off the offensive line.
Of course, we're talking about Parker, over 1,000 yards passing and 15 touchdown passes. He will not start tonight due to breaking a team rule. Coach Cadillac Harris says he will decide when and if he actually gets in the game. So Fowler going to throw it for the first time tonight, running all over the field and got a little open field in front of him. Cuts it back to the original line of scrimmage, and he might gain 1 or 2 more before he's stopped by that secondary of the Smith Taggers. Deep drop, running for his life.
And you have those linebackers keying on the quarterback to make sure, you know, their assignment is to make sure a guy like Fowler or a guy like Parker not break containment, make sure that they don't get a lot of yards. So you got spies. It looked like he had a spy on both sides of the field. So when he changed direction, the linebackers were waiting.
Third down, we'll call it 14 now. We expected both these teams to get up and down the field, but a little bit of a defensive battle thus far. As we see coming to the near side of the field will be Mark McLeod, number 16, as they have 3 receivers to the near side. Fowler looking, plenty of time, good protection, a nice spiral to the near side. Got a foot in, complete at midfield, good for a first down. On the catch is that man Mark McLeod. Just did get enough yards for the first down. Great pattern there to make sure that he got enough yardage for the first down.
Exactly, trips to the left of the formation, was able to find one of the receivers. Good footwork that time. We see Fowler looking for those trips. The 2 outside guys clear out, and that with the 2 guys right there. Good footwork now by the wide receiver.
First and 10, Indian River at midfield. 8:08 remaining in the first quarter. No score. Brandon Orr is going to go in motion to the far side for Indian River. Right up the middle. On the carry is Adrian Ashford, the fullback, and Adrian will pick up a couple of yards before he's hit by several Oscar Smith Taggers. Leading the way was Darnell Jones, number 56.
Both teams feature that small fullback. You remember the old name there, Sam Hardy. He used to play the championship team, the 95 team. That's a guy that they put at fullback position, was able to pop through the hole, caught the winning touchdown for them against C.D. Hilton. So that's what both teams are employing tonight.
Indian River Braves will run out of that USC I formation where it looks like Brandon Orr almost 7 or 8 yards off the line of scrimmage. Quick pass this time to the far side will be complete. And on the reception is Larry Holder. His first reception of the night is Fowler now 2 for 2.
And one thing I like about Fowler is that he's getting the ball away quickly. Once the guy made his turn, the ball was right there on the numbers. Good route that time, able to pick up about 5 yards and gives them 3rd and short.
3rd down and 4.
3rd down and about 4 now. Ball at the 40, call it the 43-yard line of the Smith Taggers. And Indian River with something going here right now is they're going to go with a full backfield back there. Big fullback 44, Jason Riddick has checked in. Maybe a blocking back for Brandon Orr. Let's see. Yes, indeed. Orr going across that far side. Stiff arm, and he's pushed out of bounds. And good containment from that Oscar Smith defense, David Roscoe.
And David Roscoe and Greg Boone from his strong safety position came up. Brandon tried to break it to the outside. Boone have nothing of it.
2 carries, minus 4 yards so far for Brandon Orr. So if you're Richard Morgan over on that far sideline of the Oscar Smith Taggers, you have to be pleased as they're ready to kick it away, and you're going to get the football back with 6:37 remaining in the first.
And I think both coaches said we will not be beaten by the top players on the team. Scott for Oscar Smith and Orr for Indian River. So they're going to let somebody else do the work.
Kick it away and will bounce inside the 10, inside the 5, even down to the 4-yard line. The Smith Taggers will have a long way to go as they start their second drive of the night on their own 4-yard line.
Good punt that time by the punter for Indian River. He's pinned him back inside the 10-yard line. Inside the 5.
These 2 teams both with 1 loss on the season. That loss to Western Branch. Both lost late in the ball game to the Bruins. Both have defeated the perennial power, the Deep Creek Hornets, this year. Both could make the playoffs. We'll get into that a little bit later. It could be difficult for the loser tonight.
Yeah, making the loser. Well, you know, the loser still, with Indian River, they still have a chance, and Oscar Smith will not be hurting that much. Ooh, that's
this
a
is
big hole.
Matthew Scott on a draw play. He'll be stopped by Brandon Orr, but he'll move the chains. It'll be a first down across the 15-yard line, about to the 16, where it should be 1st and 10 Oscar Smith Tigers from about the 2-yard line of draw, Merle.
Oh, you got that big steamroller and Julius Macklin running the plays and calling the offensive line sets from his center position. Man, he ran right off of his butt. Was able to get right into the secondary.
No score with 6:05 remaining in the first. Oscar Smith ball at their own 15-yard line, 1st and 10. Dexter Manley wide to the near side. A little counter play to Matthew Scott. Scott going to use a spin move. Got a late flag coming in. Could be a holding penalty against the Smith Tigers.
Yeah, every time, Mickey, when you get a flag, yep, holding is the call. And I think we got that. It looks like the defensive tackle might have put, ooh, that looked like a little face mask as well, Mick.
Watching the replay, if you're watching on Channel 48, had a look like a little bit of a face mask. But one thing you are seeing, the Indian River Braves are not only hitting, but they are trying to strip the football already early in the first quarter.
Turnovers will play the key. Oscar Smith hasn't turned the ball over by the fumble, by way of fumble, or by way of interception. Only one interception thrown the entire year. An excellent way of handling the field, considering that the quarterback had a broken arm during the summer, and he's coming back from that injury and had some discomfort at the beginning of the season, but now we see he's catching his stride.
Oscar Smith facing a 1st and calling it 19 now from about the 7-yard line. Little inside handoff to one of the quickbacks coming through there, and I believe that's Brian Morris. Brian's going to get back almost to the original line of scrimmage, close to the 15-yard line. They're going to be faced with a 2nd down and 11 for Smith.
Good little play right there. Mickey, something that's conservative, able to pick up almost 10 yards.
5:20 remaining in the first now. Indian River with a good crowd on hand here at Braves Field. Good to see. You know, Indian River High School, don't forget, the only 3-time consecutive region champion. Of course, the only state champion from the city of Chesapeake back in '95. This is the draw play to Scott. It worked before, but not this time due to good defensive pursuit from number 16, Mark McLeod.
When you talk about Indian River, you talk about an undersized defense. You know, you don't have any big brawlers there. You're not going to have any 300-pounders. You're not going to have any guys that are even, you know, basically pushing 200 pounds. It's a defense that's really focusing on speed and quickness, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to beat the blockers, trying to get off the blocks and attack the line of scrimmage.
See what they do here. 3rd down and 10 from their own 16. Going to send receivers to both sides of the field. Tommy Lawrence to the near, and Dexter Manley split wide. A throwing situation for Boone. He drops straight back. And Indian River is right there, able to escape one tackle, but not the second arm of Adam Blunt, as Adam pulls him down to the turf here. Going to be 4th down and long, a loss on the play.
And Mickey, you see these guys coming right off the corner.
Loss on the
see
play,
number
makes it
35,
4th down.
Julius well, let's see. We see, that's right, Adam Blunt come off the end. He's almost unblocked, and you saw a lot of the linemen just standing up. So you know the quickness of that offensive line is really taking toll, and they're able to put pressure on Greg Boone.
Boone will kick it away. End over end kick, a little pressure from the defense. It's going to take an Oscar Smith bounce, and they'll start 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line. Will the Braves as they start their 2nd possession of the night.
Boy, and you wonder how that one did not get blocked. Man, they were in there on him, and just barely kicked it away from the outstretched arms of the rushers.
Both coaches agree that this is a big one. And reading the Virginia Pilot, you might have seen the quotes from Richard Morgan. And he said, hey, you know, we know that both teams like to spread the field. Both teams have great running backs. And he knew that this was a big game, as big as the other games have been, Merlin. This a key one late in the season for both teams.
And the key is, if you neutralize the 2 stars, who's going to rise up? and
DeAndre Fowler
make the
may be the
plays.
guy as he steps back to throw it, and he hits a wide open receiver at the 40-yard line. On the completion is Mike McLeod, close to a first down, but the spot, I believe, is indeed going to make it a first down for Indian River.
Man, Fowler really looks comfortable. Only had a couple of days of preparation, but man, he's going to his favorite receiver. He sees he's got one guy who's a sure-handed receiver, a guy that he can count on, and he's throwing it to Mark McLeod. And McLeod is definitely making some key catches tonight, his second first down.
1st and 10, Indian River now into Smith territory. 3:08 remaining in the first. Indian River looking to get something rolling here on their second possession of the night. They break the I formation. They give it to Brandon Orr, trying to get around that far side. Could not quite sustain the blocks long enough for the Smith Tigers. Coming up, Rashawn Davis. And again now, carry number 3 for Brandon Orr, and he has about 4 yards.
And that's something that you're going to have to focus on. And right now they're shutting down the run, so for to the outside, maybe try to spring him with a swing pass or something like that in order to get him free and in the open.
DeAndre Fowler, the sophomore, number 11 in at quarterback, facing a 2nd down and 11. No score in the ball game. Quick count, going to drop straight back. Great protection from the Braves, and he's going to air it out, sending a man deep and overthrown by about 5 yards. It falls incomplete for his first incompletion of the night for DeAndre Fowler.
And that time, good coverage by the secondary. Didn't get any breakaway. The receiver was not able to clear his man, the safety, and the safety kept good leverage. And so Fowler did the wise thing. He threw it away, and then he comes back with 3rd down and long.
Coach Cadillac Harris will send Antoine Page into the ball game with a play. A big 3rd down and 11 here now. Mickey Irving and Merlin Vaughn upstairs. Richie Babb en route as we speak here to Braves Field tonight for the Merlin, one of the marquee games of the season, really, between the Smith Tigers and Indian River Braves. Both with only 1 loss.
Right, both something that we've been waiting for a long time. Good pressure that time by the Tigers.
And
3 Tigers that time.
Fowler not able to get it away, and really you can pick any of the 3, but leading the way, Darnell Jones, and I believe also in there's Rashawn Davis again. That's going to be a loss of about 15 yards, and they're going to have to kick it away.
Well, you know, the dike sprung a leak, but gee whiz, that is more than a leak. I mean, it just really went full bore. Good pressure that time from the blind side. Had 3 linebackers coming in, and they were able to corral Fowler.
Gonna have to kick it around their own 25. Kick is away, and it's an end-over-end kick. Will Smith feel it? Yes, they will. Coming in the near side, they're going to reverse it. Going to the far side is Tommy Lawrence, and no way is that going to work. Downfield coverage outstanding by the Braves. The Tigers are going to have to start at their own 10.
Hey, Mickey, you only had 1 guy. Anthony Burke was the last guy on that side because they had the wall set up. And if he didn't make the tackle, he would have been down the sideline, still running right now. But there's a flag on the play at the line of scrimmage.
Wow, back down around the 42-yard line is the flag. 1:27 remaining in the first with no score. Now, if it is an illegal procedure, what do you do? Do you accept it?
Well, it looks like
they're going to back him up.
Yeah, if I'm Indian River, I'm going to accept it. But if I'm Oscar Smith, I'm definitely going to make him kick again. Maybe a legal procedure, legal formation.
It's going to be against the Braves, and indeed, you got to make them kick it again, and that's what they're going to do. Second penalty of the night against the Braves.
And I think this time you're going to have a more conventional return.
Cashing in, maybe Richard Morgan hoping to cash in on the aggressiveness of this Indian River team, running the reverse, hoping to get out the flow going one way and then get it going the other way.
And boy, did he have it set up nicely. 1 got to beat.
John Ford will stand now at his own, let's call it the 27-yard line. And the Smith Tigers looking to get it around the 25-yard line. High snap, low end-over-end kick, the kind that can be returned. Dexter Manley picks up, going to reverse it again, but not happening. Great downfield special teams by Indian River.
Man, again, Mickey, they had that wall set up. They had the wall set up. 1 guy. They have 1 guy to beat, and that's something they're going to have to work on. Good short tackle that time. By number 84.
Not listed in the program. You do have that?
Well, I have Quanta.
Oh, there we go.
Patilla.
Now another flag again. And it looks like it's going to be against the Braves. And it may be illegal procedure again. Richard Morgan says, you know what? Back them up again. Let's try it one more time.
Wow. I'm wondering what's going on. And it could be that guys are backing off the line of scrimmage in order to give more protection.
1:17 remaining in the first with no score.
They don't have enough men on the line of scrimmage, so they're going to have to get somebody to move up just a tad.
They're going to back it up 5. Now, Indian River looking like they'll probably kick it around their own 20-yard line. So steadily are the Smith Tigers moving up the field.
Yeah, they are. And I don't think the third time is going to be a charm because I don't see 2 receivers back there receiving this time. So I don't think we're going to see a reverse.
John Ford will be standing at the 21-yard line. High snap, but he fields it. Gets it away low, end-over-end kick. Tommy Lawrence watches it bounce. He'll pick it up at the 25. Tommy looking for some help, and none is there. That Indian River special teams answers again, looking no flags, so the Tigers will start 1st and 10.
3 times in a row,
25.
you got to be impressed with that. 3 times in a row, they were under pressure. 2 times they saw the reverse. The 3rd time, a more conventional return. Each time they were down there covering and did not allow the return man to even gain 1 yard. Excellent, excellent special teams play by the Indian River Braves.
However, penalties do end up costing them 15 yards as we were looking at Smith starting around their own 10. Now they're going to have the ball 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Close formation here now with 2 running backs behind Greg Boone. Going to drop it back. Pumps and goes to Tommy Lawrence. Tommy, a little one-on-one move to the near side, dances away from 1 tackler, but great pursuit from Indian River leading the way. Number 35, Adam Blunt.
And Lawrence better put that ball away. Because there we got a little hitch that time, able to catch him.
Trying to get these guys one-on-one on the outside and let them use their athleticism to run around a little bit, but great pursuit from this Indian River defense. You know, looking at this game, you would think there's going to be a lot of offense, but we're 25 seconds away from having no score after 1 quarter. Matthew Scott thought he had a hold of the left side. Now he bangs it back outside. Excuse me, wanted to go right. Saw a lot of blue, bounced it to the outside, and he'll have a 1st down across the 35 to about the 37-yard line.
And Mickey, one thing you got to see is, you know, if you continue to wear down that small defensive line, I mean, you just keep pounding them. We're going to see how they hold up through the game. I mean, this is the 1st quarter. They are quick. They're really excited. The adrenaline is flowing, but we'll see as the game wears on if they'll be able to get off of those blocks. And then the 1st quarter is over. We'll see if they'll be able to do that throughout the game. And right now, we saw Scott, what he likes to do, he likes to go right up there in the hole and then use his vision to break it out. And then that time he was able to get a 1st down.
No score after 1 quarter of play here on WCTV Channel 48 and, of course, WFOS 88.7 on your game of the week. Mickey Irving and Merlin Vaughn, the Indian River Braves and Oscar Smith Tigers, 2 of the top teams in Tidewater. And getting the ball up and down the field is what they do best, but maybe they haven't played against each other's defenses. Merlin, has been just a game of punts and field position thus far.
It definitely has been that for both teams, and it's going to be difficult for the teams because I think they know each other well. These guys grew up in the same neighborhood. They're going to play on the sandlot. They play sandlot football together, basketball together. These guys have played middle school ball together, so no new tricks, and both coaches are good friends, and they respect each other, and they study. You know, both coaches know how to study each other, and so they know each other's tendencies. And this is I thought it was going to be a track meet, but right now it looks like it's going to be, who can outfox who.
DeAndre Fowler off to a good start for Indian River. You were wondering what was going to happen with the quarterback situation. Well, don't worry, because Fowler is 3 of 4 in his replacement of Lloyd Parker. And he's throwing the ball very well, but right now the Smith Tigers have the football, and they know Greg Boone can throw it, as he will be in the shotgun as we wait to get the officials, get everything set, trying to stop the Oscar Smith band from playing right now, as they are jamming on the far side.
They sure are. Hey, come on, get those.
Coach Richard Morgan will run over there. Okay, they're finished. They just wanted to, get their time in.
Let people know that they're here.
Boone will go out of the shotgun. 4 receivers out on the pattern. This is a draw play to Scott, trying to spread out that Indian River defense, and Scott's going to pick up maybe 3 or 4.
And that's how he does it, Mickey. You think you have him stopped. You think you have him, stopped with a 2 or 3 yard gain, and then all of a sudden the next play, he's up. He's right up there, breaking off a big run. So look for him to do that. I think what Rick Morgan is saying is, look, guys, let's stop throwing the ball around too much. Let's go ahead and just pound them.
2nd down and 6 from their own 42-yard line now. Again out of the shotgun. We see Morris and Scott in the backfield along with Mr. Boone, and Boone's going to get it. And it's a quarterback draw. Good blocking up front by those Smith Tigers. Good for a first down across midfield down to the 44-yard line.
And you see how explosive Greg Boone is. I mean, he gets the ball, gives you that quick look, and you got a guy 6'4". He's the biggest guy on the field, basically, besides Julius Macklin. He's the biggest guy on the field. So the second biggest guy on the field, he's running, and he's bigger than anybody that Indian River has on the defense.
3 carries for about 6 yards for Greg Boone. He picked up 7 on that one to get back in positive numbers. 1st and 10 now with no score. Early going second quarter. Smith with the ball, trying to get a drive started in Indian River territory. Going to throw it downfield. He steps up, he pumps, and it's going to be off the fingertips of Dexter Manley. Pretty good coverage back there by Indian River. On the coverage was Antoine Page.
Excellent coverage. They didn't bite on the first move, and the defensive back just stayed back there, waited for the ball. Antoine Page waited for the ball to come to him, forced Manley outside. So if he did catch the ball was going to be out of bounds.
Packed house here at Indian River High School for the game of the week, and Oscar Smith bringing a big crowd down. I guess how would they get here now, Merlin? They don't leave Rogers Street anymore to come down here.
That's right.
Shoot through Greenbrier. But school's pretty close together.
That's right, but it was tough getting here tonight.
Yes, it was. A lot of traffic on Military Highway. Little traffic up front on that, as Matthew Scott finds out after a couple of yards. He's tripped up.
Again, good push that time by the defensive line, able to just push the blocker back just a little bit, and Scott tripped over the blocker's feet and only gained about 2 on that time.
2 of 5 in passing unofficially tonight for Greg Boone. They face a 3rd down and 8 now from right around the 47-yard line for the Smith Tigers, in the white with the royal blue. And Indian River with the Florida State helmets, but in white and blue, and the all-navy uniforms tonight with the white numbers. Fake the draw play. Looking to throw it back to the near side. A bullet across the middle, almost caught, but falls incomplete, intended for number 16, Tommy Lawrence. That ball thrown about 35 yards on a line. Good coverage by these smaller Indian River defensive backs.
That's right, Mickey. A good route run that time by Lawrence, but you have Larry Holder. Holder was there right on him, stuck that arm in just at the last minute to knock it down, and made a good statement. And, of course, you got to be on these receivers, but a good ball thrown that time by Boone.
Going to have to kick it away. Boone with a spiral, almost blocked. Coming to the near side now is Indian River's Brandon Orr. Going to bounce it around a little bit before he's knocked down by about 3 Oscar Smith Tigers, and the Braves will start 1st and 10 at their own 25.
How did they miss the ball a second time? I was sure that they're going to block it this time. That's something that Oscar Smith will have to look at, because those little things, those special team play might be the thing that's going to turn the tide of the ball game.
Looked like it went maybe right through the hands of the guy trying to block it, but a perfect spiral from Boone. Indian River, as we play the field position game, back around their own 25-yard line. To see the Indian River Brave mascot here tonight, Merlin. He may have to get out there and return a kick. You never know.
I hear that, and you still have to be impressed with the special teams play of Indian River that time. Brandon Orr needed a block and set up the blocker so he didn't have to clip or push in the back, and that's what he did. And Brandon was able to get out to the 25-yard line.
DeAndre Fowler will send 3 receivers to the far side. Maybe changing the play now as he glances out to his receivers. Fowler going to drop straight back. Pressure. Steps up nicely. Throws a bullet to Brandon Orr, and Brandon may have heard the footsteps of Oscar Smith, number 9, David Roscoe, as that one falls incomplete. Fowler looks very comfortable back there. That's a ball that 9 times out of 10 is going to be caught by Brandon Orr.
And you know, Fowler is saying, hey, somebody want to block number 82 the next time? Because he came free from his end position. Nobody blocked him. He wasn't able to hold on to Fowler. I'm impressed with Fowler. He's staying in. He's hanging in there. Doesn't seem jittery. A good thrown ball that time, and like you said, Mickey, 9 times out of 10, Orr has it.
Going to be 2nd down and 10 now from the 25 for the Indian River Braves. No score in the ball game. 9:31 remaining in the first half. Fowler again with pressure, but a wide open receiver across the far side. Bobs and weaves, gets a first down. Now across the 40 to the 41-yard line is Antoine Page.
Man, did you see the timing that Fowler has? Threw the ball before the receiver was out of his cut. As soon as the receiver turned around, the ball was right there. I mean, this guy is getting rid of the ball. That's just a great thrown ball. And then the receiver does a great job of getting away from Antoine Page, a great job of getting away from the defensive back and picking up the first down.
Again, unofficially now, I have 4 of 6 passing for Fowler in the ball game. This is the 1st and 10. Indian River looking to break the tieless score here. The tied score, rather. Pressure now from Smith. He's got to throw it away. He finds a receiver, but it may have bounced. It will be ruled incomplete. Fowler running to the near side. Had to stop, plant, and throw it against his body, but still able to get rid of it to avoid the sack.
You know, one thing that's been impressive for Oscar Smith has been the poise of Greg Boone, but you see a guy who hasn't played all year in Fowler, and you got to be impressed with his poise, throwing to the right receivers, buying himself a little time, rolling out to his right. A little short on the pass, but again, he didn't get negative yards. So he's back with 2nd and 10 and doing a great job of field leadership.
Not the biggest guy in the world. It's 6 foot 180, just a sophomore for Indian River. As we mentioned, number 4 in Tidewater. And he's running the show, the sophomore. Some movement now from the Indian River Braves, and it's going to be another movement penalty against this Indian River Braves team.
But Mickey, they got to look at the way the ball is spotted. The ball is a yard away from where it's supposed to be, and that's and I think Coach Harris said, hey, look, the ball needs to be at the 40-yard line, and you have it marked at the 39-yard line.
That's true. 2nd down now and 15. Good point about the mark there, Merlin. That procedure call, the Braves now with 4 penalties here in the first half. Fowler going to drop straight back to the near side, complete, but only going to be a short gain. On the reception is Larry Holder again. Holder with his first reception of the night. He'll pick up 5. So the Braves are going to be looking at a 3rd down. We'll make it a gain of about 4. Braves are going to be looking at a 3rd down and about 11 now.
Fowler again is on the money. Right as those receivers are making their break, and then the ball's out of his hands, and then right there when the receiver turns around, you got to turn your head around quick if you're a receiver. If Fowler's throwing the ball, and he's right on the money.
Another throwing situation for the young sophomore here. No score in the ball game, and he's going to drop straight back. Try to get it to the outside, able to spin, moving, still on his feet, but pulled down, and pulled down by one of those big horses, Julius Macklin, 6 foot 315, gets there for the stop. A loss of about 10.
Big Mac coming in. Look at Mac. Mac said, I'm not going to, hey, you might spin away from this guy, but you're mine now. Look at those fly paper hands. Man, Mac said, you're not getting away from me, buddy.
Makes it 4th down and 20.
Fowler has had to run the ball 3 times, and I got him for like negative 20 yards because he's running for his life back there from that Oscar Smith pursuit.
For Indian River.
Oscar Smith is coming with a lot of pressure. Oh, they blocked that one, Mick.
Blocked, and it's down on the turf. It's going to be 1st and 10. Smith, Merlin, you just mentioned special teams. Smith going to get the ball at their own 20-yard line.
And you can't make a mistake, because if you make a mistake, these teams are going to score on you. And that time we saw Antonio Teal coming from the outside, untouched, free to the kicker, able to stick his hand out and block, doing something that Indian River has tried to do against Greg Boone. They haven't been successful, but that time Oscar Smith was successful, and now they're in great field position at the 20-yard line.
We'll call it the red zone as they have 1st and 10 at the 20. They need to cash in on this scoring opportunity. for Coach Richard Morgan and the Tigers, as it's 7:27 remaining in the first half. No score. Matthew Scott's the tailback. They fake the pitch to Matthew Scott and give it to the little man Morris, hoping to get him lost in all that congestion down there. And he's going to gain about a yard.
I mean, if you blink, he's gone. But that time, Indian River held on for dear life and held him to just a small gain. Like you said, 1. But that's the value of having that quick fullback there. Not a bruiser, but a guy that can just be on you so quick, and the point of attack is so quick. You got to make sure that you have a short tackle, and that time Indian River were short with their tackle.
He'll be in there. Morris will be the split back to the right along with Matthew Scott as they go out of the shotgun, but they're going to hand it to Matthew Scott. He breaks free inside the 10, down close to the 5-yard line. First down, Oscar Smith. It's going to be first and goal from the 6.
And you know, hey, this is Scott's area right here. You know, he's saying, hey, give me the ball. Give me the ball. This is where, look how good vision. Look at the guy. He takes on the, look, see, the first guy is not going to bring him down. He'll let you hit him, and then he'll just continue to go. So, excellent runner. Just a tough, punishing runner.
The block kick now looking like it might pay off for the Oscar Smith Tigers. They block a punt, and now they are in scoring position with a first and goal from the 6-yard line. Again, out of that shotgun, it's Scott along with Brian Morris in the backfield. Craig Boone going to give it to Scott again. Same play, getting close to the goal line, puts the ball down on the ground, and it's a scramble for it. We see the beanbag come in, saying that it is indeed a fumble. We see Principal Jimmy Fry on his feet pointing to the right, saying Indian River ball, but it's a big pile-up down there around the goal line as he was fighting for the extra yardage. It'll be second down. Gain of about 5 for Matthew Scott.
That time again, Scott right through the middle. This time hits the safety, comes up, hits him, and jars the ball loose, and there it is. Falls at the 1-yard line, goes into the end zone, and Scott quickly pulls it back in.
Going to run with the quarterback sneak. Do they get in? No indication yet. Going to be down right around the goal line.
How could he not get in? I mean, gee whiz, 6'4".
He did get in. Touchdown. Man. Touchdown, Greg Boone. A 1-yard touchdown run for the first score of the night. We've seen it so many times that turnovers and mistakes